For you pay maaser of mint and anas and cumin, and have omitted the weightier matters of the Torah. Mishpat, rachamim, and emunah, these you have to have done and not leave the others undone. Notice, tithing is a part of an overall program of holistic Torah compliance, and it encompasses some of the weightier and lesser matters. Keeping Torah means there are weightier matters such as mercy, love, forgiveness, justice, and then there are lesser matters such as tithing, but it is part of an overall program of wholesome Torah compliance. If you remove tithing from an overall program of wholesome Torah compliance, you are robbing. Yeshua said, you're tithing, that's tov, but don't forget love, mercy, and justice. We walk in love, mercy, and justice, or we try to, and we make believe tithing is not a payment, it is a oferendo de whatever. A regalo. That's not a regalo, that's a payment. See, and that separates the men from the boys when it comes to leadership.
Amen.
I'm sorry, I'm telling you the truth. Men of Yahweh, which you and I are, women of Yahweh, which you and I are, we should not be afraid to ask people, please let the 10 Commandments say, do not steal. Al tignav. Al tignav. Let's maintain a Hebraic walk. If you maintain a Hebraic walk, there'll be no stealing Yahweh's tithe. If there's no stealing Yahweh's tithe, you'll build a building. You'll build the orphanage. You'll feed the homeless. You'll have victory. You'll do exceedingly abundantly above more than you could ask or think, because Yahweh is with you. And Yahweh, it is He who works in you and through you, both to will and to do His good pleasure. Somebody give Him praise in the house of Yahweh today. I'm just getting started. Green Israelite assemblies. We all know how to get started. Can you maintain it? YP, are you with me? We got the beat. We know how to get it started, but can we maintain it? Not without following the pattern of the 10 Commandments. Amen. Baruch Hashem Yahweh. YP, are you with me? Baruch Hashem Yahweh. Look at verse 16. You shall not bear false witness against your neighbor. Listen, our BYSW congregation must not allow, we touched on this before, an evil report to be received or entertained without 3 credible witnesses. Write it down. 3 credible witnesses. Your husband and your wife is not a credible witness. In rabbinic law, a husband and wife cannot be dual witnesses. They are one flesh.
Amen.
A pastor and an elder cannot be 2 witnesses. They must be 2 witnesses that have no joint interest in pursuing a matter. No evil reports. 3 credible witnesses. In Hebraic walk, people are never convicted upon accusation, but upon evidence. No evidence, no guilt. Say it again. No evidence, no guilt. A false witness is probably the worst crime anyone can commit in their Nazarene Israelite assembly. Because a false witness can destroy your reputation, your character, your future, your relationships, everything. It is poison. It is vicious. It is designed to remove and to tear away a Hebraic walk from your assembly. Are you with me? You cannot allow, if somebody comes to you and say, I saw it, say, okay, where's the evidence? I saw it. No problem. Here are the elders, here's the rabbi. Where's the evidence? I know what I saw. Then if you know what you saw, and you saw what you saw, then show me what you saw. Bring the evidence. I don't have it. I just know the Holy Ghost told me. Now, there may have been a ghost that done told you, but he wasn't holy. Where's the beef? Where's the beef? I just know. In my spirit, I know. What spirit? What no? Who's in you? What are you talking about, child? Where's the evidence? I don't have to produce evidence. I'm out of here. When you don't receive their ghost, I'm telling you the ghost told me. But if I don't believe no ghost, I want evidence. Evidence? You offend me. I've been with you for 10 years. I've been your loyal, trusted friend. And now you want real, credible evidence from 3 credible witnesses? I'm out of here. In your Hebraic congregation, do not entertain an evil report. If somebody's got the audacity to bring you an evil report, sit their butt down and say, now you've made the accusation. Now you are required to bring forth the evidence.
Amen.
And boy, you'll see some action. Because Rabbi Tom, let me tell you something. Any nut can walk in off the street, am I right?
Amen.
And say, I saw you. I saw you. You were right there. I know what I saw. There was a neon sign, you know, lights flashing. You were in a red light zone, brother. Okay, where's the light? The ghost told me. Where's the zone? There is no zone. The ghost told me. I said, take your ghost and walk, darling. Where's the beef? Can you imagine what we do when we listen? We allow people, Carlos, you with me? We allow people to make an accusation and then let them walk out because they're offended that we ask for the evidence. No, you get them back and say, don't you dare leave this congregation or open your mouth and sing again or worship again or pray again or anoint with oil again until you produce evidence against people who may in fact be innocent. That is your job. I'm not angry. I'm just right. When you know you're right, you get all worked up. Baruch Hashem Yahweh. If you can't say oh man, say right on, brother. All right. I know what I'm talking about. A false witness, listen. It's one of the worst crimes in the Hebraic assembly. If you want to turn a Nazarene Yisraelite assembly into a pagan assembly, let people talk without making them accountable where they got their facts. Let them talk. And you'll be a pagan assembly automatically if you just let them keep rolling on. If people are being hurt, they're being victimized, it's your job as a leader to step in and protect the sheep and say, where's the evidence? Because if they know that they can get away accusing folks without evidence, guess what the devil has discovered? That he can come against you and your husband without a shred of evidence because some air-conditioned fanatic in the front row who thinks that the air condition is the Holy Ghost has accused your husband or your wife of something that they're innocent. Be careful. Protect the sheep because one day you might need protection.
Amen.
Mordecai, am I rolling tonight now? Maintaining a Hebraic walk in your assembly. Back to Shemot 20. And I'll begin to wind this down with this. I won't say we'll close. You know why? Because the word of Yahweh says you shall not what? You shall not what? You shall not what? You shall not
Bear false witness.
lie. So I may not close, I'm just letting down those tires, my landing gear. Baruch Hashem Yahweh. Look at verse 16. We did verse 16. 17. Shemot 20:17. Maintaining a Hebraic walk in your BYS. It's easy to get started. Matzo ball soup, tzitzit, head coverings, lie, 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 lie. It's easy to get started. A little wine and you're lie, lie right out the lollipop. Now I want to see you maintain it. You're going to need the 10 Commandments to maintain it. You're going to need the Eser Hadarim to maintain it. Can I get a witness?
Amen.
I said, can I get a witness?
Amen.
Can the silent folks give me a witness? Amen. Baruch Hashem Yahweh. Look at verse 17. You shall not covet your neighbor's bait, house. You shall not covet your neighbor's wife. It's a good thing that's written in there. Or his male eved. Or or his female event, or his ox, or his donkey, or his Corvette, or anything that is your neighbor's. Now wait a second. We know some of us really have renounced money. Let's be honest. Can we talk? Some of us have really renounced materialism. But the greatest danger from turning your Hebraic assembly into a Greco-Roman Nicene congregation, as we learned this morning, is the coveting of the members in your congregation who are coveting your authority, your power, your decision-making authority that is given to you from on high. Yeshua said the Ruach HaKadosh will come down upon you and will give you power, and you will be my witnesses. You will be endued with power from on high. Tarry in Yerushalayim. That power to be the authority figure in your congregation. And don't think that because she bakes the cookies and has nice lipstick and lip gloss, oh, chalo, chalo. And she's the smiley type, and she's the friendly type, and she wouldn't even, if she saw a bug, she wouldn't even put her thumb to crunch the bug. She's sweet. But you know something? Coveting comes in a lot of packages. She may have already chased away 3 husbands. And now she's targeting you. And the best way to get your authority, she's coveting the authority that you command. You say to one, come, they come. You say to another, go, they go. You know why? You have the authority to do that as a leader? Because you're under authority. You can only have authority if you're under authority. If you want authority, find a father and a mother, honor your father and mother in a Hebraic congregation, and get under authority and watch the authority that you have. But see, there are folks in the congregation who covet your position. They covet your rulership. Can we talk? I mean, we're leaders, right?
Amen.
There's no sense holding back now.
That's right.
You paid top dollar to be here. Some of you have given away your life savings to be here. So we got to make this worth your time. Amen? Amen. And with the last assembly, the last denomination, or whatever organization you want to call it, we had a split between me and the other founder. And I look back and I wonder, my goodness, what did I do wrong to this man? I loved him, I trained him, he flew to Miami, I ordained him, I prayed for him, I gave him a title. I told him I'd move to Iowa and shepherd his congregation and show him how to do it. I did everything. I paid his expenses to the conference. I paid his hotels. I'm not mentioning any names of anybody that lives in Iowa. I would never mention any names.
Come on, brother. Come on. We know.
And then one day Yahweh showed me through Rebbetzin Rivka, he covets me.
Yes.
And now whenever I send a teaching out on the internet, even if it's 100% kosher, there's another email that follows rebuking my teaching almost immediately. It's like he sits there in his pajamas, has nothing to do, he's just watching. As soon as Moshe Yosef Konichowski sends a new teaching, even if it's 100% correct, boom, out of Iowa, and the union headquarters flies a contra teaching. Sometimes I think I'm dealing with Daniel Ortega and the Contras. Now, how can I always be wrong? Yes, I may be wrong on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. That's true. But how can I always be wrong? I mean, every once in a blue moon, I'm going to be right. But that's not out of Iowa. Oh, no. Anything I say, if I say tongues is of the devil, he'll say, no, it's not, it's of Yahweh.
Right.
If I say the beard has to be cut here, he'll say, no, it has to be cut here. How many know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
What would make a man do this? What would make a man dishonor his father and mother? And lose his Hebraic congregation. Lose his Hebraic assembly. And turn it into a pagan structure. Coveting position. Listen. Coveting position and rulership is a sign and sin of the pagans. Israelites do not seek position. Israelite servants do not seek title. Amen. But they seek the blessing of the opportunities to serve. You shall not covet. You shall not covet your neighbors, your leaders' bait, someone else's wife, male eved, female eved, ox, donkey, anything. Turn to your neighbor and say anything. Anything that is your neighbor's. As we learned this morning through Rabbi Jimmy, a man's gift will make room for him. A man's gift will make room for him in Yahweh's camp, in Yahweh's service. Baruch Hashem Yahweh. An Israelite assembly gives people opportunities to serve without title. That was my mistake. I'll never do it again. So in order to have a Hebraic assembly, you have got to beware that people are coveting what other people have.
Amen.
Does that make any sense? Right. Do not allow coveting. The only one that can allow someone an opportunity to serve is you. Be aware of people that want to covet what you have. Coveting, we as leaders should not want to be somebody else. We should not want to be have somebody else's radio ministry or television ministry. We should be happy serving where we are with the people we have and what Yahweh has given us by His grace, by His chesed. If we are coveting, let's be honest, if we are coveting, then more than likely our people are coveting. Can I get a witness?
Amen.
If I'm coveting greener pastures and then I go and I find out that what looked like greener pastures was not necessarily greener pastures, underneath the green pastures was a whole bunch of manure, but I couldn't see the manure from my side of the fence. So as leaders, let's be honest, we see the success, and Yeshua said, rejoice with those who rejoice. Weep with those who weep. When you succeed, I succeed. When you grow, I grow. When you prosper, I prosper. And so when we have that attitude, we don't want anything Yahweh hasn't given us.
That's right.
And the spirit of Jezebel is not a woman necessarily. The spirit of Jezebel is an impotent spirit that cannot produce where they're planted. And I've run into many ministers and many pastors who are just like that. Many ministers, they say, I got to move to Kansas. I got to move to Chicago. I got to move to Puerto Rico. Because this is a bad area. I can't minister here. South Carolina is very difficult. In prosperity, nobody's prospering. In Newberry, nobody's new. In Miami, me is in the ocean. Where's Ami? I don't want me on me. I want a different Ami. Can I get a witness? So we're always looking for someone else's position. Someone else's, oh man, check it out. You know, oh man, notice, I love it. If I, if I can get that building, if I can get that van, if I can get that conference hall, you're coveting. Oh. You know how I know you're coveting? Because I covet. I'm the LeBron James of preaching. So if I'm coveting, every once in a while, those Miami folks get me all riled up and stressed out and nervous, I'm looking to retire on Fort Myers Beach. I want a condo. Someone's got something else out there to give me some relief, stress relief. I'm coveting. If I can't be happy until I get a condo on Fort Myers Beach, am I not coveting somebody else's condo? Condo's not going to fall from the sky. I've got to covet it and get it away from somebody else to give me what's mine. In a Hebraic congregation, the leader has to learn to grow where they're planted. Write it down. I know I'm preaching tonight, but now I'll give you some notes. Grow where you're planted. Please write it down. Please write it down. Grow where you know what the best place to do ministry is? Rabbi Tom, you know what the best place to do ministry? Etowah. Aguilar, you know where the best place to do ministry? Chicago. Mr. Kennedy, you know where the best place to do ministry is?
St. Louis.
St. Louis. You are exactly where you are for the reasons Yahweh has you there, and we cannot seek greener pastures because greener pastures are a mirage. They are a mirage to pull you away from the will and the purpose of Yahweh in your life. If you don't remember anything else, do not covet. Grow where you're planted. Questions, please. Questions. Maintaining a Hebraic walk in your Nazarene Israelite assembly. Questions? We have a few minutes for questions. Yeah, Mama, would you be so kind? Thank you. Please. Thank you. We have one question. Remember my policy? This is the time for questions. If you don't have questions, you stare at me, and I'll stare at you until the 20 minutes are over. Brother Matthew.
Do you have a few maybe scriptural quotations where we could look which would be good to give people for bringing in the tithe? Because I think so many people have come out of the church, they've been offended by the way the church collected the tithe and built these big, huge buildings and sent you to Hawaii on mission trips. So now they think, well, I'm not tithing. Because the tithe
Please listen.
Because the tithe is just fruit and barley, and that's how we're to tithe, and it's not money.
Okay, well, let me stop you right there. Somebody says to you, have you heard this, leaders? Well, when Yahweh spoke about tithing, he was speaking about cattle and sheep and horses and zebras. Have you heard that one?
Yeah.
And you were asking me for gold and silver and money market. And have you ever heard that one? So what do you do, right? Is that a good question? It's a natural question, right? Natural question. What do you do? Ready? Don't write this down. Okay, Brother Lee. I'll be at the shul Monday night. Bring the cattle, the corn, the marijuana plant, the tobacco plant, the cotton plant, and we're going to stop selling pumpkins and we're going to sell all your tithe and turn it in to some Confederate money. It's the end of that, Matthew. Liars. If they want to pay in cattle, don't stop them. Couldn't you use some extra milk? You see, don't let people manipulate you. If somebody wants to pay with giraffes and zebras, let them.
Yeah, you get
My goodness, I have always dreamed of having my own bush gardens in my backyard. Question. Go ahead. I'm sorry. You're next.
To go along with that, what about the issue of the person says, well, you're not a Levite.
Yeah.
Because there are those out there who teach you should only pay your tithe to Levite.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Correct. Very good question. What happens if somebody says you're not a Levite? Okay. I'm not a Levite, but I am a priest in the order of who was the first Melchizedek? Shem. Was Shem a Levite? No. Was Abraham a Levite? No. And Levi was in the loins of his father Abraham when he saw fit to pay tithes to a different order. So, Mr. Member, I have good news for you. I will never require you to pay tithes to the order of Levi. just pay it in to the order of Melchizedek. You see, Daniel, because you are a priest in the order of Melchizedek, you are commissioned to collect tithes. Same like Shem, same like Abraham. They paid Abraham tithes. The only one that didn't pay Abraham and Isaac tithes was Esau, because Esau refused to go to Shem and Eber's house for Torah study, according to Sefer Yashar. So while everybody else was studying Torah, Yitzchak and Yaakov, Esau was out hunting in the field. Next question. See, tithing, you see, if we stay here for the next 40 minutes, 40% of the questions will be about tithing. And that's because we don't tell people that if you're not going to pay tithe, no problem, then don't pay your taxes and don't pay your insurance on your property. But if you're going to render to Caesar, you must render to Yahweh. Render means pay.
Amen.
It doesn't mean pray, it means pay. It's us. We are the ones who are teaching wrong. And we're going to spend 20 minutes talking about tithing instead of other issues, because the solution is easy. We just have to do it.
How about if you've got a husband and wife split? Wife comes here to your show, husband goes to a church, Catholics or whatever, and the wife says, I'm not the head of the household. I can't give you my tithe.
So the wife goes to the shul, and the husband goes to the church.
Catholic church.
Okay. The best thing you can do where a husband goes to a Catholic church and the wife goes to your shul, the best, say to the woman who goes to your congregation, is your husband willing to meet with me? If the husband is willing to meet with you, boom, you have a beautiful open door, and Yahweh can take control of the situation. If the husband is willing to meet with the priest behind the screen, but is not willing to meet with you, there's nothing you can do. Remember, we can barely control our own marriage. We have to work at our marriage. How are we going to control somebody else's? You produce your husband. You produce your wife. It doesn't work that way. Now, we could ask for a meeting, and if the husband comes, you know there's some openness. But if he comes to argue with you, then you know you're wasting your time. So generally speaking, you can do nothing. Remember, you only have authority over people who put themselves under your authority. That's the only authority you have. I have no authority over the gas station attendant. I have no authority over the parking lot attendant. I only have authority to people who will give me authority. That's why I, as a shepherd, spend 80% of my time with 20% of the people. Because 80% of the people say, you're my rabbi, but they don't let me speak into their life. You're my rabbi. But only 20% let you speak into their life. Correct me, like this brother, Yeshua ben Shammai, right? He said, what do I do? I'll do it. If I got to step down, step up, what do I need to do? So you don't have to pontificate to a brother like that. Very few sheep allow you to speak into their life. But how can you speak tithing into their life when you are shy and your hands shake?
Right.
Amen.
I'm not putting you down. I'm just giving you. But when someone is in the church and the other spouse is in your congregation, if they're willing to meet with you, Baruch Hashem Yahweh, you have a good chance of talking sense. But if they're not willing to meet with you, that's it. What did Yeshua do with the people who were not willing to meet with him?
Said goodbye.
I tell people all the time, show me in the Bible where Yeshua witnessed to the Pharisees. Show it to me. I mean, where he evangelized the Prushim and the Sophrim. Show it to me. Not once. The whore, the tax collector, everyone received his love and his witness. He didn't once witness to the religious folks. So if someone is in the church, they're there because they want to be. You have no authority over that person. Zero. You have to work, spend 80 years, you write that down if you don't mind. 80% of your time with 20% of the people. That doesn't mean you don't love everybody, you do. But you work with the key, you don't work with a leaky vessel. Okay, what's a leaky vessel? Ay, tiene muchos problemas. En mi casa, con mi esposa, con mis hijos, con mis hijas. Ay. Okay, okay.